Coke Machine for real fishing. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to the party. Now, I want to apologize for being gone for so long, but I'm not from here, so I have no family up here, which means that I have to go down south for, like a week or so to visit my dad and my wife's mom. So that's why I've been gone. Anyway, so here's the scoop. I can tell you on the drive back up to North Bay yesterday that I was driving through some crazy fog. It was real wild. Like, you just pick the guy in front of you and you just try to follow him all the way up. But the temperatures up here and down south even have been crazy wild. Everybody in town obviously knows that everything's been really warm here, like unseasonably warm. So I'm a little worried about what I'm seeing out here. Behind me, you can see all sorts of sheets of water on top of the ice. And, how do I sum this up? We had ice. We had ice. And had things stayed cool and not got all wet out here, I would have a lot more confidence in it being solid out there. But with 3 days of warm temperatures, with us basically being right in the middle of the warm temperature spree right now, I have no idea what kind of ice conditions are going on out there and in different parts of the lake. What's going on? This warm water's got to be melting things, or the warm temperature is going to be melting things. I got a few reports from a couple different people around the lake, so I'm just going to go ahead and read those out. So let's start with those, because I just got back really last night, and so I just want to read for you guys the reports that I've gotten around the lake here, so you guys get a feel. These are a little more comprehensive than what one guy can measure. So Corey Gingras on the North Shore. Now, he was measuring 7 inches in a few different places that he went out there, including, I think he said he went out about 2 kilometers. So he was measuring 7 inches out there, and he even sent me a picture of somebody who's got a hut out there in the Yellock area. Not sure who that person is, or if they have any kind of information they'd want to share about what the ice is like below their hut. But I can tell you straight up that he's told me that it was 7 inches out there, but there was some water on the ice, but he says that it's sort of dried up now. And a lot of the snow that was on the ice is gone now. So just to read exactly what he said, he says, North Shore update, warm weather got rid of the white ice down to the black ice, and the water seems to be gone. He says there were 7 inches when I went out there, and that was a good few days ago, I think on Christmas. And he says he's seen sleds driving in front of the place there. Now, Bernie Giesler, always a great source of information, because he's out there at his cottage waiting for the lake to freeze up so he can rejoin the rest of the world. He's got a very unique situation out there. So he sent me a message this morning. He says, hello, Eric. I took a few steps out on the ice to cut a hole to replenish my water supply. Where there was previously 6.5 inches of ice, there's now less than 4. So definitely the warm weather has degraded the ice that's around him down there in Hunter's Bay. He says the top is soft and partially crystallized. That's definitely not a good thing. He says where I normally place my fish shack is now open water. One poke with my chisel and it went right through. So, really important. Ice is degrading out there due to these temperatures. The confidence that you might have had in the ice a few days ago is fading. So I received a message from ZZZ Angler on December 26th. So this, of course, was before this warm weather hit. He says, Merry Christmas, Coke Machine. I haven't updated you in a while. I walked out today from the South Shore, about midway between Deepwater Point and the mouth of Calendar Bay. There was lots of slush anywhere. There was an accumulation of snow on the ice. Where there wasn't much snow, there was no slush. I drilled a few holes and measured about 6.5 inches of good ice with various amounts of slush and water under a crust on top of the ice. I included a few pics as well. I'm going to be sharing these pics on my Facebook page, the For Real Fishing Facebook page, because obviously this is a live, and live technology doesn't allow me to share stuff the way I'd like it to. Anyway, so that was on the 26th. So things have changed since then, but that's what he was measuring then. Mark Wolf did an update today at Sunset Point. He says, just checked Sunset Point out after the 2 days of rain and mild weather. We lost a bit of ice, but it's hanging in there. I only went out about 200 meters on the other side of the first pressure crack. There was 6.5 inches of ice. I drilled a few other holes and it was consistently 7. All the snow is gone, which left some pooling of water about 1/2 inch or less deep, which will likely freeze up if the temperature dips tonight is forecasted. He says, unfortunately, I'll pass on tomorrow's opener. I'll have to walk 1 to 2 kilometers out to get onto some fishing depths, and my old knees couldn't handle that on the glare ice, even with the grippies. I'll wait it out and see what Mother Nature has in store for the next week. Stay safe, everyone. I think that's really important, what Mark is saying there. You know, maybe you'd be able to walk out and, you know, drill some holes using proper safety precautions. We're talking float suits, spud bars, ice spikes, stuff like that. But it's going to be flat ice out there. You're going to be slipping around. It's going to be wet. And again, like, I'm really not confident in the conditions that are out there at the moment. Anybody who has had bookings with any operator, I have no doubt you guys have been canceled for the opener this weekend. And I just see here that Ian Patterson says he's canceled for the 9th. So obviously the operators have some pretty heavy gear that they got to get out onto the lake, and they're going to be extra cautious. And, you know, 7 inches of ice probably wouldn't be able to hold up the bungalows they got out there, stuff like that. Now, Danny Bazaka from Billy Bob's Bait there sent me a video around Whale Rock on the south shore there, where he was measuring, I think it was 5 to 8 inches of ice down there. Now, I think that was before the defrost that we've got going on here right now. So I just keep seeing operators that are saying they're canceling reservations, and that's got a sting for everybody, including them, because that's a huge, huge burn on the pocketbook for them, and I'm sure for everybody else. Like, I'm not sure what happens out there when an operator has to cancel for you guys. Like, do you get your deposit back? Do they rebook you? I'm sure anybody out there who's booked can fill me in on how it goes out there. So just going to go through some of the messages here. Yeah, so from what I've seen on the weather reports is that we're going to have some cooler temperatures at night early this week, but we're going to have more warm temperatures in the middle of the week. It's really unfortunate, because I don't feel like this ice is going to get broken up behind us anytime soon, but it's just the conditions and having to be extra wary is the way it's going to have to be at the moment. It would be nice if some super -30 temperatures hit for 2-3 days. It would firm up all the wetness that we have out here. I'm not really too sure when that's going to be coming, because we haven't seen those super cold temperatures yet. But again, you know, -10 or -5 in that area at night is going to help firm stuff up out there. Now, you know, the big question I'm sure everybody's asking themselves is, are you going to toss a spoon tomorrow, Coke Machine? And here's the thing. It's, as the guy who reports on the ice, I always have to go with the cautionary approach, because I don't want people to think that I'm endorsing people to just go out on the ice freely. You know, I got to show people and set a good example for a very cautionary approach to the ice and stuff like that. So as of this moment, I'm thinking that I'm going to be delaying the spoon toss for at least a week, because I've got no confidence in this ice out here. And, you know, it's solid in some places, and like Bernie says, things just like disintegrated in his area there. So it's unfortunate, because I would really like to get that spoon toss out of the way, but at the same time, I want to encourage safety out there, and I want people to really think about things when they're out there on the lake, because I don't want to be the guy who has to, you know, watch the news tomorrow where they're like, oh yeah, these guys went out on the lake, middle of the lake, and fell through, and it was, you know, hopefully people got through alive, but ice water could kill, so don't want that going on. I know that before I went down south, there were some satellite pictures of the lake that were shared by Bear Creek Cottages there, where they were showing some open water on the lake. Some people have said that was just windswept black ice, but who knows? You know, unless you were actually there to see it, who knows? And I did definitely see a picture on, I believe it was Christmas or Boxing Day, of open water at Deepwater Point. Somebody sent a picture, didn't send it to me, but posted a picture of that. So that was concerning, to say the least. Anyway, so it's looking like I'm going to be postponing the spoon toss. It seems like all the operators are definitely delaying opening up for the season. And I think everybody needs to think about safety and stay safe out there. Use all their safety equipment. I know some people are just like, whatever, I don't need a float suit, I don't need a spud bar. But man, I really hope people are going to be safe out there. And, you know, I really encourage caution. Here's what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and I might do a series of live reports, whereas I drive to the different ports that are around, or the different access points that are around the lake. Sunset Point being one, Calendar Bay being two. I'll hit at least those two and just see what people are doing out there. Are people moving their huts onto the lake? Are people being cautious? Are people doing things? And so what I'll do is I'll probably set it up so I'll start at Sunset Point, just doing a live report there, surveying the scene of how things are going. And then I will work from there to Calendar Bay, surveying the scene, how things are going out there, you know, see how people are reacting. I know people are eager to get their lines wet on opening day, but caution. Anyway, if you like this report, please put a thumbs up on there. As a result of me delaying the spoon toss, you guys have extra time to change your guess, and don't forget you can change your guess whenever you want. Just make sure you delete your old guess or edit your old guess. So you got lots of time to get new guesses in, and I will be, like, basically the ice reports are going to continue. I'll do a couple edited reports early in the week. I'll be going out there early in the week to check ice as things cool down. And as the nights cool down, I'll be going out and checking the ice thicknesses again. Basically, we're just extending the ice report season a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't take that long, a week or 2 weeks. But I'm planning on doing the spoon toss next weekend for sure. Well, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to take a minute to go through some of the comments here. Don't forget to hit the like button for all this stuff. Everybody get all sorts of ice fishing gear for Christmas. I didn't. I gave some though. Welcome, Jeff Emo. I know you had some bookings early in the season here, so I guess you probably missed out on that. Richard. Yeah, it was a busy Christmas, going around to different family down south. Watching for chipmunks. Okay, I'm just sort of going through some of the comments here. Yeah. So, I hope everybody had a good Christmas out there. And we got New Year's Eve tonight. Should be pretty exciting. I know my brother often comes up for the opener, and basically he's just telling me, let me know when there's good ice and I'll show up. Yeah. Just reading through more comments here. David Bennett. I saw a guy at Harvey's yesterday, and I'm like, that must be David Bennett. But I'm like, no, his beard's way longer. He gave me a look, so I was like, maybe that's him. Yeah, I imagine a lot of people sort of I imagine a lot of the operators are definitely playing it real safe out there. I know we had to delay the spoon toss last year, and for the same reasons. It seems like, you know, I don't know if it's going to get worse or it's going to get better. Some years are great and some years are not. Yeah, South River Resort and Bear Creek, great places. Just continuing to scan through here. Well, that's good there, David. That wasn't you because, you know, I feel like you've participated in enough of things that I should be able to recognize you. I'm going to turn around the camera to look at the lake for a second here. I might even, like, it looks really neat with the water patches out there. You can sort of see it. I think actually as soon as I'm done this, I'm going to fly my drone around out there and take a look at what we can see. I can trail where I drilled a hole out here. I'm at Kinsman Beach, by the way. I don't see much activity out there, and that's probably a good thing. I want to thank everybody who submitted reports. Bernie, Mark, ZZZ Angler, and of course Corey. And I'm sure we'll be hearing from Daryl McLeod eventually. He's out of town. All right. So again, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'm going to close it off for today. Stay tuned there for tomorrow for opening day fun, and we're going to take a look at where people are, what people are doing, how things are going, and we'll talk to you guys soon. So have a great night, happy new year, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.